The Auset Gypsy tarot deck and book set that I created was based and inspired on the beginning of my professional life as a tarot card reader, which takes us back in the time machine all the way back to the magical year of 1999, when I just moved back from South Beach, Florida to Orlando, Florida, and I wanted to get a job, a gig as a tarot card reader at a place called Cafe Tutu Tango. Everybody goes there. It's a whole themed restaurant set around like Moulin Rouge. It's supposed to be artists and belly dancers and performers and fortune tellers, and it's just like a nonstop party. And I went there, and the person in charge of hiring the fortune tellers said, "No, you're too young, but I know of a gig that would be perfect for you." And I was led over to Universal Studios Orlando, where they were just finishing work on a whole new concept, which is not so new anymore, but it was Islands of Adventure. And inside this magical theme park, there was a place called Lost Continent. And in the Sinbad Village, they were building a fortune-telling tent, this beautiful tent, stationary tent, beautiful, like cool looking on the outside, inside looked like a genie bottle. So I had to go talk to the owner who was hiring for that. I showed up with my Cagliostro tarot deck that came with me everywhere, met the owner, Connie Gold, and she said, "No, absolutely not, I will not hire you. One, you're a boy, you're a guy. Two, you can't be experienced. And three, I'm looking for pretty much Esmeralda." So I said, "All right, well, give me a try." So she's like, "Fine, at least you're here, you made your way over, I'll audition or interview you." As soon as I showed her my card, she went, "Whoa, wait a second. Why do you have these cards?" And I had to go back and explain, "Oh, growing up, we didn't use these Rider-Waite-Smith decks. We used these old-fashioned Italian decks, and this is what I'm familiar with, and this is the deck I chose for myself." And then she showed me that she used Austrian playing cards, and that was it. I got the gig. It was what launched me into the public eye. I did a lot of international television, magazines, newspapers, and Auset Gypsy then bloomed into so many things. And one of the most important things it bloomed into over 20 years later was my tarot deck, which is sort of autobiographical. Tarot contemporaries kept asking me when I was going to write my book, since I was a teacher, a mentor, and an influence to so many well-known tarot card readers and authors today that everyone knows and love. And my attitude was kind of, well, what could I possibly write? All of you have written about it already. It made me realize it's not a book I need to write about tarot. I need to tell my story through an actual tarot deck, which sets Auset Gypsy apart from a lot of other tarot decks out there. And I collaborated with two artists on it. Rebecca Stotzenberg was a young artist, and I liked her style because it was her own robust, colorful style. And I just thought that it was perfect for what I wanted to portray with my deck and what I wanted to contribute to the tarot tapestry history from the 21st century. And then the minor arcana, when I worked on those, was with an academic book artist named Heather Scott. And she did all of those true to, old world charm in ink and colored pencils, where Becca did the major arcanas all digital. And so I thought this was a nice combination of bridging the old world and the new world, and tarot is a 14th century technology. And I thought here in the 21st century, it would be nice to merge all of these things, because it seems that's what the tarot always does. It merges all the points of time and in history. Tarot Training Sleeves was born out of a believer and a non-believer. One of my dearest and best friends, he's a professor at a multimedia college, but from all the years of watching me teach classes, and especially then bridging it and bringing it to online, he always believed, he's like, "James, there's got to be a better way for you to teach this. That's not just you in front of a class hours, and then sometimes they're 4-part classes, they take a month." He's like, "There's got to be a better way to do this." He's like, "I want to help you expedite this and do something more modern and current." So we came up with this great idea called tarot training sleeves. And it is thoroughly combining 14th century technology with 21st century technology combined to make tarot card reading learning tarot card reading a different experience. There's 78 cards in a deck, sometimes 98, sometimes 106, depending on what kind of tarot deck you use and from what era. That's a little daunting. That's a lot of study and practice and introduction to different characters. So I understand that. I know that that's daunting, and it's one of the things that puts people off. But what Tarot Training Sleeves does is it puts the tarot right into your hands to teach you how to get acquainted with them, so you don't have to be clumsy and look at cards and flip pages in a book. And this distraction will lead to the inevitable not wanting to do it. I feel that you should always just have the hands-on with it. You should be getting acquainted with the characters and the images, the symbols in the card. This is what talks to the psyche. So what you do with Tarot Training Sleeves, it's a 3-tier program so that it is initiatory and you don't just run through it. The first step is you have all these beautiful little clear sleeves to put all of your tarot cards in. First step. Second step, you open up this little envelope or break a seal. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to be yet. The whole product comes out in October, so I'm as excited to see it as everyone else who knows about it. Are little stickers with keywords on it that you put on the outside protective plastic layer so you don't ruin your cards that correspond with each card. And so then you can do readings with them and look down and see the keywords to get acquainted with the card. And, eventually you can take the stickers off when you no longer need them. There are these teaching cards that you put behind the tarot card inside the same sleeve. So when you put the cards out and you're playing with them and you want to go a little bit beyond just keyword descriptions, you pull this card up. It's kind of like Cliff Notes for tarot readers, and it gives an upright reading and a reversed reading of what that card means. And eventually, when you finally get past there, you pull the card up, and when you want to know more, with a smart device, you scan a QR code that takes you through a portal to that specific tarot card on our website, and it gives you a cute little animated video that talks more about everything that's happening in the card. And then there's all sorts of information, astrological meanings, artistic meanings, more thorough definitions. There's going to be a plethora of information that will constantly be upgraded and changing. And so you just have this whole library now of tarot knowledge. And that's the synopsis and summary of Tarot Training Sleeves, is to ease the person little by little, step by step, through initiatory steps to become a grand tarot master.